Okay, good morning. This is your brother, Mr. Devil's Advocate. I'm just responding to this particular video that I just watched with this young man explaining the inconsistencies with church and the way they do things. And I do believe in what he's saying, in that the church preaches about certain things, but behind closed doors, they're doing things that they themselves know is wrong. That's why a lot of young people out of my church, Payne Chapel AME, in my age group, left the church. We've seen a lot of things that we grew up with in the church that were taught to us as being wrong, being done within the church. So if you're preaching to me that it's wrong, why are you doing it? If it's wrong, um, I think that you should practice what you preach, just like Barry White says. But I also understand that we are all sinners. We do things we have no damn business doing, but we do it because we're human, number one. And these are the things that we do. Um, God gives us the decisioning power to make our decisions according to the way we feel, whether it's right or wrong. Because either way, you're going to face a consequence, whether that consequence is going to be good or whether that consequence is going to be bad. You yourself as an individual have to pay for that. But in that being, God still forgives you if you come to him, ask for forgiveness, and then don't do it no more. You can't keep doing the same thing, keep asking God to forgive you, forgive you, forgive you. You got to, ask God to forgive you and then don't do that no more because you know it's wrong. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking for forgiveness. But the situation with Bishop Long, I did put another video on about a month ago. I hope that people are now listening to it. It's astonishing. You'll be amazed how many preachers are like Mr. Bishop Long. Um, Nobody really talked about it in years. We all knew it was occurring and happening, but people shunned away from it because they didn't want the church to be seen as negative or a church that is bad, somewhere not to come to. So people, to keep that money going, people just don't say anything. They just continue to do what they do. And now what's happening in this time and day in this era is that the actual truth is now coming forward. I used to be a taxi driver, and I can't tell you how many females that I picked up from the clubs who were strippers. And I just like to kind of get in their world to understand what made them become a stripper, this and that. I just want to get in their world, in their head. Because I kind of like other people's stories. It kind of gives me a vision of what's going on and why it's going on. So I spoke to one young white girl. She just had gotten out of jail. She was like 22, 23. And she was a stripper. I asked her, I said, why do men take all of their money basically and take it to the club and just spend it like that? And her response was basically, they're crazy as hell. And I'm thinking, okay, that's like right on key, because you have got to be crazy to take all of your money. You haven't even paid your child support. You haven't paid all your bills yet, but you're going to take all your money to some hoes to make it rain in the club, make you look good. That to me is not manly at all. That's stupid as hell. I'm not going to take my hard-earned money. If you earned it, I ain't talking about robbing somebody. If you earned it, if you put in your 40 plus hours, I'm going to take my hard-earned money and put it in some hoe's G-string just to see her shake her thing in my face. When I could take that same money, go and get me some DVDs and a big 50 or 60-inch screen TV and see the same hoes doing the same thing. And I ain't spent number $15 on some DVDs. It's something up here wrong with a brother where he got to go to a club. And we know more than just that occurs in the club. We know sexing goes on in the club. That's why I never liked it, those type of places, because they're like negative to me. I feel that, you know, if you're single, I guess if that's your thing, that's your thing. But if you're dating someone or you're married, you have no business in those type of places. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. So I definitely got no business in those places because that's what occurs and happens in those places. If you know you are not those three things or you don't participate in those three things, why are you up in a club? And that's how a lot of people get drawn into things. Sometimes you got to say, you know what? You know, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I don't need to be in the club because those are the things. Because if you go to a club long enough, you will eventually take a drink, and that's going to loosen you up. And somebody going to say, well, take a puff of this here. And you don't even know what but you're going to do it because now you're under the inhibitions of alcohol, which lessens your ability to think clearly. And now you're going to take a puff of this. And now you're going to be, and it's just a snowball effect. You're going to be in a place that you say, my Lord, how did I get here? 10 years down the road. That's what you're going to be asking yourself. Life passes you by because life doesn't stop for nobody. Whatever you do today is already done and recorded. Ain't no going back and deleting it out and all that. It is what it is. I'm not perfect myself. I'm not claiming to be perfect, so I don't want nobody jumping on my case about I'm sounding like I'm being perfect. I am not. God knows I am not. I try to stay prayed up because it's easy to get in trouble. But I'm trying to educate those who are willing to listen, those who are willing to just hush sometimes, because that's one of our problems as black people. We don't want to hush and listen and take in what somebody else is trying to give us in the form of good information or good wisdom or good knowledge, particularly the younger people. Oh, I'm grown. I'm 18. I know everything. No, you don't. You pretending to know everything, because if you knew everything, then you would be in heaven. Nobody knows everything. Even Einstein couldn't tie his own damn shoes, so that means he didn't know everything. He couldn't understand everything. So I'm basically saying this. All the preachers and all the bishops out there know that they're doing wrong. You know that you're going to be in the front row or in the front of the line when God brings you forward. You know that you're doing wrong. You're leading people within the church, the congregants, who are your flock, under the guise of God. You are supposed to be closer to God than any other congregant. That's why we listen to you. You have the power of talk. You have the ability to bring people from a negative environment into a positive one. But if you're doing wrong yourself, how do you expect for the people to listen to you? How do you expect for the people to, gain trust in you when you're doing wrong yourself? Like I say, ain't nobody perfect. But if you know you're doing wrong, ask God for forgiveness before it comes out what's occurring with you in the regular general population, in the news or somewhere. And ask God to turn that around for you so that you can be a better person, a better man. I know that the devil doesn't stop. The devil is 24/7, 366 days a year. The devil is a motherfucker. Let me tell you, I done been through